Hello everyone, thanks for checking this out.
If you're looking for the best show to get your mind refreshed and keep yourself updated about
Educations, health, local politics and many more, then you're at the right place. Welcome to Knowledge is Power Podcast,
the show that specializes on educating Southeast Texas African Americans communities
with profitable information on health, education, local politics, business and personal finances and many more life coping skills.
You can join us and start streaming our episodes to get to discover more about the community and new things about yourself.
Meet our outstanding host, Tony Renfro,
and our co-host Francis Larkin and LaDonna Sherwood,
as we go through different overwhelming topics, interviewing new guests every Tuesdays and Sundays at 8 p.m.
Central Standard Time.
You can start streaming with us on different platforms like Facebook
at Knowledge is Power Podcast Live,
YouTube
at Knowledge is Power Podcast Live,
Apple Podcast
at Knowledge is Power Podcast Live.
How do you catch up with our live streams? It's more than easy.
Now, open your mobile device and go to YouTube now. Click on the search button and write on the search bar, Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. Click on the subscribe button and also turn on notifications to receive a pop-up message whenever we start a program.
You can also do that on Facebook. Write on the search bar Knowledge is Power Podcast Live and then you can click on the like button.
The best time to join is now. Knowledge is Power Podcast
is the best for you. Is the best for you.
Welcome
to Knowledge is Power Podcast.
Here we are going specialize on educating Southeast Texas African Americans communities with viable information on
health,
education,
local politics,
business and personal finances,
leadership coaching,
and many more. Learning as a joint experience and through our series of interviews,
we can all learn more and achieve even greater things.
You are now tuned into this week's episode of our podcast.
Today,
we are going to interview some of the greatest and most influential minds as our guests.
Meet our host Tony Renfro
and our co-hosts
LaDonna Sherwood and Francis Larkin.
Join us every Tuesdays and Sundays as we interview new guests on another
mind-blowing topics.
Knowledge is Power Podcast
is the best for you.
Well, hello everybody. We are back on a Sunday evening. Hello. Hey, Francis and LaDonna. Hey, oh boy, what a Sunday. We've got a special guest tonight, Thurman, the mayor of Port Arthur, Texas, Thurman Bartie. He'll be joining us in a few more minutes. But we've got some other things we need to talk about before we get to our special guest. And we want you all to hang in there with us and join us and share our program. We're on quite a few channels and platforms. So we'd like for you to join us on our platforms. And let me go with some of the things we are on. We're called Knowledge is Power Podcast Live is now on Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Apple, iTunes, and Google iPlay and iTunes, whatever, So Francis, you think, not Francis, LaDonna, you think our intro a little bit too long?
Perhaps. And
yeah, right. We'll change that.
It just lacked a little of our personality that I feel like.
Yeah, I think it's a little corny, I think it's a little corny. I think it's a little corny, but we'll move on. You like the original one, right?
Right. I think we did. We had a little more pizzazz.
I was in the background.
Okay, all right. You like that beat and all that good stuff.
Exactly.
Right?
And we missed those bracelets, Tony.
Those what?
Those
bracelets.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Listen, let's see here. What's going on today? What's going on in the area? But I can tell you this. Let's post this right here. October is a national. The month of October is the National Domestic Violence Awareness and Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we at Knowledge and Power Podcast Live will be, I'd like for you to asking you all to join us each October podcast as we will be having guests to discuss some of the facts and help and a lifeline to help you guys, those who might be suffering with breast cancer, and domestic violence is really important to us. So we want to invite you all to join us in the month of October as we as we kind of help those who are in need. All right, next Sunday, I'll let LaDonna handle this.
Next Sunday, October 3rd, we're going to have the attorney Chance Lynch, who's Chris Shaw's civil rights attorney. He's going to be our special guest and giving us a little bit of insight about that incident with the police and those videos that have not been released, and the march and the rally that they recently had in the interest of justice and transparency. We'll be able to speak with him and get some more information about what actually happened to Christopher Shaw and what is on those videos, since they got a chance to see them and we haven't. We, the public, have not been able to view those videos. October is also a very important month for Jefferson County Democrats and Southeast Texas Young Democrats. Jefferson County Democrats is hosting an event in Port Arthur next Saturday, October the 2nd, and I will send you over that flyer, Tony, but just to keep people kind of in the loop, they're going to be doing some brainstorming about getting more young people involved. In Southeast Texas Young Democrats is hosting a community public health forum on October the 13th at Alice Keith. And I'm going to get you that flyer as well, so that we can kick October off with a bunch of events that are going to be coming down the pipe. And Bo Alfred and them is still going to do their COVID vaccine thing is coming up at, what's the second location?
It's here in Beaumont. Like
it's
in
here,
the
but
minutes.
it's at Ray Smith
Smith,
Middle
okay,
School.
yeah, they
Yes.
have that event that's coming up as well, and a few other events that will keep the community abreast of what's getting ready to go on in October. And then yes,
Yes.
we have the first annual Lafayette Spivey Junior golf tournament that's being sponsored by the NAACP. That's going to be October the 9th. And there's some registration information there if you want to have a team of 4 or just be a single player. That's going to be a Bayou Den.
All right.
I
And
might buy you then.
all right, we're a big part of that. And also, Francis, that's your deal, right?
Oh yeah. November Diabetes Awareness Month, faith and strength to endure. It's a community awareness walk targeted toward diabetes. It is scheduled for Saturday, November the 13th at 2021 at 9 a.m. November noon. Sorry, I'm butchering this PSA, but it's at Rogers Park, 6540. It's right there close near the heart of Beaumont. We're asking everyone to come out and participate. And you see there is registration, or for more information at the bottom there, you can email Miss Tamika Clark at myclark1@gmail.com. So we'll have more information on that a little bit later down the pipeline.
Great. Let's see here now. We're also like to invite everyone who is interested in meeting and wanting to uh, put your ads on our podcast so that we can spread the news. You're welcome to send it to us by email or by text, and we'll welcome your information. Now, let's bring on our special guest. And Mr. Let's see here. Is he here? Is he ready for us? No, he's getting there. There we go. Ah, City of Port Arthur, Mayor Thurman Bartie. You getting set up?
I'm trying to get set up, man.
Just
But
take your time. We used to that. We used to that. We used to doing things like that.
Because I'm changing location, and
And
it's
I
just
am too. I am not. I am not. I was telling the girls today. I am not in my familiar home studio tonight. I'm out of town, and so I'm out of in a different arena here. So, but we're ready when you're ready, and we like to talk about COVID-19, and that COVID is real and COVID is serious, and we want to hear your timeline and your experience and testimony on recovering from the COVID virus, because there's people that don't believe that it's real. So this is why I ask you to come up because you are a witness. You are a witness, and I want to spread the news. And people that are watching the show are listening to the show tonight. I'd like you to share it with your loved ones, and neighbors, and those who need to hear this. Share it on any platform you like to. We just want you to share this program because this is a live, living witness that has gone through COVID and has going had the experience of the illness that the COVID brought him through, and we want to let the public know that God is real and COVID is real. Okay,
Yes, yes.
but LaDonna has something to say, don't you?
Of course, I always do. I feel like with COVID, a lot of people have been duped into believing that first it was going to disappear, and next that you could shine light into your body or just disinfect it and all of this kind of food. So we do want to make sure that we're taking COVID serious and that we are spreading the word that COVID is real and it can affect you. And it will if you do not mask up and if you do not get your vaccine.
Take it away, Thurman.
Yes. Can you all hear me?
Oh
We
yes, we
can.
sure
Yeah.
can.
Okay. Because I'm trying to use two pieces of technology.
Well,
I'm trying to switch
let
over.
me ask you this. Let me
Go
ask you
right
this.
ahead.
I can get it started.
Go ahead.
When did you discover that you was positive? You test positive for COVID. Did you ever think or thought that you would never get this virus, or
Well,
you?
I was doing. It happened in December, if I recall correctly. I think it was the 17th of December of 20 that I was actually tested and uh, diagnosed as a positive, active positive case of COVID. Uh, Prior to that, I believe it was whatever that Monday was. I actually had a procedure done, a colonoscopy. That in the age group where I am, those are kind of normal every 4 or 5 years, and it was time for that. However, they went through all of the protocols that were necessary to before they allowed me into the facility. And I'm more than sure that all of their the medical team that work, I mean the doctor and those who perform, because it's sort of like a surgical procedure, were prepared and medically sound, if you will, for COVID. However, after the procedure, and I've had, may have been my fifth, sixth, or seventh time having a colonoscopy, I would say at least fifth. And, the day after, I began to feel not what I had normally felt following these procedures. Very lethargic, no strength, not no appetite, just I just didn't feel right. And so I
Hmm.
called the surgeon, and of course they told me, "Say, well, you shouldn't be feeling that way following this type of surgical procedure." So they said, well, and I remember them telling me, they said, well, this had to be that Tuesday evening, so this was Wednesday, well, say, well, if you feel badly tomorrow, if you're still feeling this way, call us back. Well, following the next day, I felt so bad, I didn't even call them. I didn't call anybody. It had me, I just wanted to just be in the bed, talk to myself, but I wasn't getting any better. The symptoms weren't subsiding. They were actually getting progressively worse. So on the following day, which was the Thursday, I may have the dates wrong, but I know the days are right. I felt so badly until I called and they said, "Well, you need to can you get into the office by like 3:30?" I said yes, so I called a younger cousin of mine who provided me with transportation to get me there, and he picked me up, brought me to the doctor. At the same time, I had called my older daughter over in Houston to tell her what I was feeling, and she said, "Well, go ahead, do what you have to do," and then uh, it's the normal things. Well, matter of fact, we did all of that. But following doing all of that, when I got to the doctor, he checked me and he said, "Have you been tested for COVID?" And I said, "Well, no." Now, I mean, I honestly, God, I had no reason to be tested,
Right.
and with that, I was tested and I became positive. And because of family situations, I had to immediately be rushed over to Houston and to Herman Hospital. And it all began there. And within 5 hours of being there, they were taking me into surgery to put me on dialysis. Okay?
Dialysis.
Yes, because it had the medication, I think, and I don't want to mispronounce it, I think it's Resinopil or whatever it is, they give you all this stuff. It began to change my uh, creatinine numbers every hour.
Wow.
Yeah. And the doctor was
Yeah,
telling me
that
that
that real
it
that
was,
remdesivir or something.
remember, that's, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm not a medical person,
So
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 I may
that's
slaughter those things.
so is that medicine for COVID? Is that for COVID relief or for
Okay, I'm not, like medical person, so, and I don't try to
okay.
say that I know everything, but it was something that they knew that they needed to give to me because of what my, I guess, symptoms were.
Okay.
And because of that, and because of other medications that I had been taking as maintenance medicines for well, comorbidities. I had the comorbidities. I had
Right. And so
hypertension,
it will
I
shut
had
your kidneys down.
diabetes. Right.
Right.
And because I had been on, and I'm not trying to say that these medicines are bad, but because for me, I had been
Right.
on the Cinepri and metformin. And the doctor said that those medications, along with the medicine you just called out, would cause kidney failure because I had long term use of Cinepri and of metformin. You know, so
Yeah,
with
metformin,
that,
yes.
yes. So and with that, and with COVID, and with COVID was striking and attacking in my body, and so they immediately they put me on dialysis. So I got at that point I got a nephrologist. Then they called a cardiologist. I had so many allergists I can't even name them all, but they were all working on me. And thanks be to God now, but the best allergist was the real allergist, which was Christ, okay, and His
Mm-hmm.
blessings and His healing powers that brought me through this. I was in the hospital for 13 days, going on 14 days, and they decided, when I was discharged. Following that, I was in a convalescent state for almost 64 days, where I had to be placed on oxygen, home oxygen, and other things because the COVID pneumonia had my lungs in a capacity that, didn't have me breathing properly. So I needed a system of oxygen for it. And
Wow.
since then, and see what I want you to know, there wasn't a vaccine available at the time that I was diagnosed. Okay,
Hmm.
and all of this is just a sign that God's blessings upon me. And later, a few months later, I was told that I was part of what they would begin to call a long hauler, which meant that I would probably have some medical situations, either the remainder of my life if I lived another 20 years, 30 or 40 years, which I hope I could do, or if I only lived another 1 year, I would have some issues. And again, they arose uh, following a rotator cuff surgery that I had in August because of my rotator cuff being formed. And the immobility state that I was in for about 2 weeks because of the surgery and the medication that I was taking caused uh, pulmonary emboli to form in my lungs. But
Wow.
my lungs were weakened by the COVID pneumonia. So, but it was a blessing to have them just there because it could have gone to my brain, which would have stroked me out, or it could have gone to my heart and my aorta or something of that nature, and that would have been something else. But all of that, and I'm just telling you a story. I've dealt with all of this in the past. I say, what it is going in the past 10 to 11, 10 months in my life. And it all began with COVID 19. Okay, and I've been blessed to still be here to be able to tell you the story because many who have contracted the disease at the level that I did are no longer with us.
Now let
Amen.
me
I
ask
believe.
you this: since you have been, since they have had the vaccine, have you been eligible to get vaccinated? And
Oh
how do
yes,
you feel
ma'am. I
about
have.
that?
Okay, on the vaccine side, and I may be saying it with a little humor, but it's true. Uh, I've had both vaccinations. I was at my pulmonologist last week to be sure that I could go for the booster, and
Hmm.
he cleared me on the booster shot. So I will probably get the booster next week or this coming week because it's Sunday. So during this week,
Yeah.
possibly, according to once I'm able to get with like Judy Smith over at the health department and get an appointment or something of that nature, and not even an appointment, but a time that they're going to be doing that. And I even told them if there was a sprinkling, I don't want to be sprinkled something. Whatever it is, the reason why is I've experienced this stuff. I know how
Yeah.
serious it is. I know it's not a hoax. I know it is something that will really take you out.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay, and it whatever we have now. Now I even told some members of my church even today that if you need to be tested, get tested. Get tested because if you are positive now, there is available the infusion
Mhm.
Right.
that
Right.
will cause you not to have it at the level that myself and several others have had to deal with who survived
Mhm.
it, and for sure those who have succumbed to it.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, so now I don't know what people want to think about, saying that it's the government that's doing. I don't know. Look, all I know is that I've been affected by it, as I'm telling you there, and it's not anything nice. It's not anything good. It changes your life, and if you have an opportunity to get receive vaccination, or even if you already received the vaccination and you are a candidate for a booster, I would say get the booster. Science, God calls the doctors like he calls the preachers.
That's
Amen.
right. That's
Okay, I
right.
believe this. Okay. Now some doctors may think that they are God, but they are just going through faith, they're thinking in their own thing. Okay. However, the doctors still don't really understand and know everything about this dreadful disease because it's new to them.
Right.
Hmm.
So whatever medical science would tell you to do, I would be more than joyous, not to find a better term, but to be full of joy to do what it is they say that I need to do in order to protect myself and my family
And now I
from
have a
this
question.
dreadful disease.
As
Yes,
the
ma'am.
mayor of Port Arthur, have you noticed that there are more cases from, as far as the numbers are concerned, those that are not vaccinated versus those that are vaccinated? Is there some numbers that you maybe can discuss with us as far as people that decided, oh, I'm not going to get the shot versus people that did get the shot that may have contracted COVID and things like that?
Well, I have been given a certificate data, which would be the numbers from our health department. And those numbers indicate, according to the information that they've gathered, that just as following the national trend, in the 90 percentile. Nationally, it's 92. Locally, I know we are in the 90 percentile. We may be over 92% of individuals who have contracted the Delta variant were unvaccinated individuals. And I also found out that the deaths count we've had since August, the death count has grown tremendously, and 98 to 99% of those deaths that have been caused by COVID have been, they are individuals who were unvaccinated.
Mm.
So now that
That's
tell
what
you,
we need to, yeah, that's what we need to stress. We need
right,
to tell people
and
the truth.
right, and if that doesn't tell you that you need to be vaccinated, I don't know what can, what will. You are
Mm.
playing. I've said it before, and I'll say it even uh, in this video. You are playing Russian roulette with your life, not
Mm-hmm.
getting the vaccination. Okay? You are playing Russian roulette with your family's life by not being vaccinated. Because the statistical data that has been shared with me through our health department, statistical data that I have been able to gather through webinars nationally, those numbers are not lying, people. And the realness that I know, a long hauler of COVID-19 and how it affects the anatomy of and the pathology and the physiology and the chemical balance and even the physical strength of the human body in such a negative way, you should want to be an individual who doesn't get it at all or protects yourself and protect the family. I beg of you right now, to all of your listeners who's listening to this podcast, please do all you can to be an ambassador for your family. If you know that you are vaccinated, and if you are not, go ahead and get vaccinated so you can let them know. Hey, I saw something today that was kind of disturbing, but it was a national figure or some, I want to call it, I don't know if he was a rap artist, a hip hop guy, who said he took the vaccine and now he was feeling so badly from taking it and he wish he wouldn't have taken it. Well, I took the vaccine, and the first day after I had taken it, it put me back to bed. I thought I had COVID again. But 14 or 15 hours, I did. And then
Yeah, I
but
know.
what I found out is they say if it does that, you know it's working in your body.
Mm.
So, all these things and all these real, real smart, brilliant individuals whom we have who've never taken a medical class, never even taken a medical test, don't even know probably how to even really search out medical data and medical information, would want to give information that's just been a hoax. But probably the audience that they have are individuals who would believe in them, but who also have this very limited knowledge.
Right. Well,
And
Several,
and
go ahead,
go ahead,
go ahead.
LaDonna.
I was gonna say, and Mayor Bartie, me and you, we get honest. They didn't put far worse of things into their body. They don't know what's in that either. That dope sometimes make you feel bad too, but it ain't stopping you from taking that.
Yeah,
It ain't stopping them.
you know,
Well, go ahead.
and I mean, I don't know I don't know what it would take. But when someone called and asked me about it, I mean, I had service today. I had something else, another meeting that to be at 5:30. I knew it wasn't going to start right then. It was going to go into this time. So I went out and attended that meeting. But when someone called me and asked me and told me why, and I couldn't tell him no. Well, I've been knowing on it, so many years. I'm still young. He's gotten older. Uh,
Well, I hear that El Paso has achieved 100% immunity. How do you suppose that they were able to do that?
now, which group has done that?
El Paso.
The city of El Paso.
Yes,
Yeah,
the city of
okay,
El
that's why I couldn't see. Well, I don't know what they employed, what tactics were employed, what was actually done. But I think that if I know for sure that is great,
Mm-hmm.
for that city to be able to do that. Those citizens are protected. They're protecting the children, the very
Mm-hmm.
elderly, those who are immunocompromised, those who have comorbidities that just wouldn't allow them to be a good candidate for life if they
Mm-hmm.
contract COVID. That is a plus for that particular community and that society.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, like I said, I haven't studied it. I haven't communicated it with anyone, so I can't tell you what they employ or what uh,
What roadmap they
abilities.
took, or
Yeah, whatever they use.
yeah,
But
what strategy?
yeah. But I think that the main thing in this whole deal is everybody has got to stop being the expert in a field that they really know nothing about. It's like, oh, you know what it is? It's just because we're in the greatest country in the world where our constitutional rights are so magnificent. And I say magnificent and magnanimous. I mean, they are just so great. I can say what I want to, when I want to, how I want to, act the way I choose, and nothing actually happens to me. We saw that on January 6th.
That's right.
Okay? We even saw it the other day down in the valley
That's right.
against Haitian refugees, you know.
That's right.
And we're seeing it now even with and against a culprit that's actually our face killing us. There have been several individuals who were so outspoken against the vaccine, they have gone through someone's funeral home and not going through to view somebody else,
That's
but
right.
going through to be viewed, if you will. So
I am
why would you
so
want to listen to them?
Yeah, I am so glad you said that because I've lost some close friends, uh, relatives, uh, people that had crossed in my life that they on an escalator going up through the clouds. They gone
Yeah,
because they ignored the fact that COVID was they ignored the fact that COVID was real,
yeah,
and a lot of people are misinformed.
yes. And again, it goes back to what I just said. More simple. You use real nice term. They just talking about something they don't know nothing about.
No, no.
Yeah, I
I
like
had a
the way
guy to
I
come.
rather the
I
way
had a
you say
guy.
it real
I had a
nicely.
guy to come. I had a guy to comment on our last COVID That's Real show, and from Ohio somewhere, and he was saying that the COVID was a hoax. It was nothing but the flu. Um, and I usually don't comment back, but I had to. I had to, just to let him know that hey, I've never known flu sickness to kill over 600,000 people.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean the death numbers alone just frightening. Even though we all are going to die, some given time or another. But
Hmm.
I think that there is such a thing as you rushing your time. God already He allows you to be born to die. Because man is born of a woman is about a few days. And you're already going to be full of grief and misery. And then you die. But if you can have some good quality of life in that in between time, I think that's important. And God doesn't want to just believe, I know, because He's not the type of God. Just erase you from the face of the earth just because. But when He sends a warning to you and lets you know, now, you have to have faith in Him. See, I told you earlier, in my faith, He calls a doctor too. Like He calls the preacher. He calls the teacher.
Amen.
He does all of that. And so, why allow it to come upon us? Yet He gives specific individuals the wherewithal to make it something that we can live with by doing A, B, and C. But you're so smart, you're going to say it's a hoax. You're so smart, you're going to say it ain't happening this way. And I just told you, several individuals around this country, and you said you know something, who have to come to it simply because they didn't want to believe it was true. And God is allowing some of us, or all of us who are here, not all of us who are yet here, He's allowing us to be here. So you could be a witness like myself. You could be a testimony like myself. Do what those medical folk are telling you to do. And He'll keep your faith and your hope and your trust in Him. He's going to bring you through it. But it's just like having any other disease. But I'm so for the Holy Ghost until I'm not going to take the medicine. Okay? And then at that point, I'm telling God to bring me on home because I'm tired of living. He's already shown me what I need to sustain my life. So like C.S. Lewis said in Screwtape Letters, some of us are so heavenly minded until we're no earthly good. And we used to just want to apply that to theological principles. Yet I see the implication there in just everyday living. And for sure, I see it now as we deal with this COVID-19. On one front. And on the other front, you're just so smart. They say God telling you that, because God doesn't lie. So He's not going to be telling you to tell folks not to take this stuff. He's not going to be telling you to tell folks, it's just a hoax. That's a lie from the pit of hell.
What you think about the shot injecting the chip in you for the government? What you think about that comment?
That's probably some individual that just brought that into thinking. That's all I know. I really can't, I don't want to answer the way I could, because it would be proper. Just know, if my camera is showing, I'm going to be off the show right now. You can't see me, but you can probably hear me.
No,
just
we can
know
definitely
that
hear
something. Okay, just know that chip theory, we are not animals. You put a chip in me. They don't need a chip. I got a cell phone.
Exactly.
The same people that's making that idiotic statement. Cell phones. Cell phones, and they have an automobile with GPS in it. You understand? I mean, how ludicrous can you get?
That's right, because they can see you and hear you and pinpoint you at any time. Matters of fact,
they get ready.
They can see a black ant on a black rock at midnight. They sure know where you at.
You don't know.
Well, Bill, I appreciate you accepting my invitation, guy. Let me tell you something. I know you had a story. I know you had a story, and I wanted to hear your testimony because I know you believe in the Almighty God. And if it
Mhm.
wasn't for God, you wouldn't be here today. You know, COVID is a mean monster, but he ain't bigger than our God.
Yes, it is.
That's
Sure.
right. Give a shout out to Red Brown out of Stafford, Virginia. Hello, Red. We're watching the show tonight, and also our good friend, your cousin Debbie Parker. She said good evening, and that God is awesome, cousin. And this is a testimony. God bless, sending hugs and prayers, and another good shout out to Chelsea Hubbard. And happy Sunday evening, guys. We appreciate you guys watching and keeping us on top of things, but we like to share everything we can about what we know that we can share to you that will help you. And tonight we have my good friend, the mayor of Port Arthur, Texas, Thurman Bartie. Man, I knew you was going to tell a story and you're going to tell it like it is. Man, we appreciate you guys. We really do. And I can always count
All
on
right.
you when it's time to bring you on. I can always count on you. I said, Bill, I need you for a show, man. Tell me what we got going on. So, in the
Yeah.
meantime, ladies, is there something else you'd like to ask the mayor?
I have nothing else to ask, but I do have a comment. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm definitely moved by your story and your testimony, so I appreciate you sharing. And it is always a pleasure to hear you speak because I know it's going to be real and it's going to be just you. So we
Yes,
appreciate
yes.
that.
Yeah.
And we
Well,
also want to remind you all that listeners that the month of October is National Domestic Violence Awareness and Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So join us each Sunday podcast, October podcast, I'm sorry, and we will have guests that will talk about their experience with those issues and also some help to help you if you're going through that trauma. And also next Sunday we're going to have the attorney, Chance Lynch, the civil rights attorney out of South Carolina. He is the attorney for Christopher Shaw. He will be our special guest on Sunday, next Sunday. We'd like you all to join us. He's going to talk about the case of Christopher Shaw, who was paralyzed by the Beaumont Police Department in the
wow.
in the jailhouse, right, LaDonna?
That is correct.
Right. So and that was a walk, a protest walk on yesterday. So we want you all to join us and next Sunday for that show. And one more shout out, Bill. Kathy Wingate says the job well done over there in Port Arthur, Texas, my friend.
Hey, Miss Kathy.
All right. And thank you. Thank you for the comment. Pray for me. Pray for
Oh
me.
well, we're gonna always
Keep me
do that,
lifted
my
up.
brother. We're always gonna do
I
that.
appreciate the encouragement.
All right, my brother. Thank you so much, and thank you, ladies, for your
Thank you.
co-hosting. God dog, I can't do without you. Good night, Bill. Take care,
Good night.
everybody. Love
Good
you.
night.
Love you.
Love. And
Good
look
night.
here, may I say this one thing? May I
Yes,
say this one thing to whomever is
yes.
listening? I am a part of the Real Men Wear Pink for the American Cancer Society. On this Thursday at 5 and Under Golf, there's going to be a a lunch party from 5:30 until 6:30 or 8:30. Really 6:30 the party actually begins. And we are raising monies for the American Cancer Society. So if you come out and help me, and you may know someone else, but I'm asking you, if you come in, you can make a $5 donation, $2 donation, and whatever is spent in the restaurant on that night between those hours, they will make a contribution to the American Cancer Society. So if you want to help me out, come on out Thursday night, September 30th, from really 6:30 to 8:30. We'll be there about 5:30 setting up. But from 6:30 to 8:30, come on out and please make a contribution for Real Men Wear Pink and for Thurman Bartie in particular. And guess what? I'm
All
gonna have
right.
on something pink.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you, D. All right, my friend.
Thank you for watching Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. Be sure to like and subscribe to all Knowledge is Power social media pages.